Underrated relationship red flag from a psychotherapist with over 3,000 hours of one-to-one experience. Whirlwind romances. Again, there are whirlwind romances that go well. You know, it's not to say it's not black and white. It's not like all of them don't work out. I'm sure there are some that work well. However, what often can happen, especially if somebody's experiencing psychological difficulties, is that somebody emerges in their life who's able to give them a temporary resolution to a series of problems. And that often will look like some form of projection. And again, it's really, really common where, for instance, maybe, you know, somebody has a lot of difficulty, say, being assertive, you know, it's something they're trying to work on, and they meet somebody who's really assertive, they meet somebody who's really direct, and maybe even a bit aggressive, you know, and they can find that they're actually quite attracted to that because, you know, that's the thing they're seeking in themselves, that's the things that they lack internally, and again, it gets projected on a partner, and it creates a really strong force of attraction, and, you know, that can often be observed in the kind of whirlwind romances where you know, people get together and are really, really strongly attracted to each other from the beginning. Again, such whirlwind romances, which are built on these kind of projective factors at times, will often struggle to survive the long haul because we don't actually, you know, we want our problems to be solved in the short term, and we don't care how it happens. But in the long term, we want to be able to solve our own problems, and that's really difficult if you're around somebody who's really, really good at solving your problems for you. It means you're incapable of being an independent adult, and it means you're incapable of personally growing. It means you're incapable of becoming the person you need to be for yourself. Because you've outsourced some of these things onto somebody else, and it's really natural, and we all project on people all the time, and it's part of how relationships are formed. We can't avoid it, you know. You can't not project on people unless you're the Buddha or something, but again, you know, things that are really high in projection often create kind of a dependency of sorts and a real need for somebody, and that can often result in that kind of whirlwind romance where things get escalated in intensity really quickly from the off, and so. Yeah, you know, it's not necessarily always unhealthy to have kind of these projective forces in relationships. You know, we can't be exactly identical to our partner, otherwise it's really hard to actually have any attraction there at all. But yeah, if there's a whirlwind romance, it might be, you know, something to, you know, I guess raise an eyebrow toward if we are dealing with certain psychological difficulties and it feels like when we've met somebody, those difficulties have vanished overnight, because chances are there might be a bit more to it.